Trajan Langdon remembers Coach K as an educator.
Well, I remember sophomore year coming back off my knee injury. Worked hard all summer getting ready for the next season. And we have our first exhibition game. I had a pretty good preseason, and we're playing I think the Australian national team didn't play well at all. I think I went scoreless for the whole game. So I came in and, I'm feeling down already. And he comes and looks at me and he says, Trajan, you were blanking deplorable. And that night I had to go get a dictionary and find out what exactly that meant and find out how bad I really played.
Imitation has been called the highest form of flattery.
In the locker room, after Coach K would leave, we would all do Coach K impressions based upon what he had just told us. And it's really pretty simple and pretty easy to do, but it's hours of fun and loads of fun for the kids. So I'll teach you how to do a Coach K impression. First of all, you got to get the hands right. So if you can get the hand movements down, every once in a while he'll do this and you've got to, if you can, get your mouth to be as small as possible and use monosyllabic words. So hold your hands out like this and monosyllabic words, very simple, and say yo a lot. Like yo. Believe me, when I talk, you listen and you'll succeed. Believe me. Like yo. Where I'm from in Chicago, and you also have to pronounce your G's with a little bit extra, like young, high-strung. He didn't shoot it. It was more like it was slung. We want to get in college basketball, on the college basketball ladder, to the top rung. Like, like, you guys got to get tougher. Like, you are a bunch of wimps out there. Like, if you don't dive on the floor, like when I was playing, just for example, I could give you an example. I was playing racquetball the other day against Joe Oliva, and I was down. Like, he was beating me. And I'm a better racquetball player than Joe Oliva. I am. And he had me down. But I didn't quit. Like, Like, I'll tell you what, son of a bucket. Like, I ain't gonna quit. He'll have to kill me. So I got down to Joe Oliva, and I fought back, and I won. And that's what you guys gotta do. Like, if you're playing Carolina, Michael Jordan, thinking about that, think about like what I did against Oliva and be as tough as me. Like, you gotta be as tough as me, because I'm tough, and you're not tough. Be tough. And that always hit home with us because, when you take the analogy, Michael Jordan, Joe Oliva, playing against Michael Jordan, racquetball against Joe Oliva, made perfect sense to us. And that's how we became the program we ultimately became.
Coach, I remember in the old days when, as I said earlier, you had that youthful passion and you used to challenge us in the locker room and you used to say, I'll fight you. I'll fight you and I'll win because you'll have to kill me.
Hey, Coach K? Nah, I don't know about all that. I guess that's just all hype. I don't know.
My senior year, we'd beaten Clemson at Clemson. And I think that was our 28th win. And that represented more wins in one season than any Duke team had ever had. And he came into the locker room after the game and said, that was good. Like, that was good. Like, that was really good. I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you. Like, believe me, that was good. It was good. That's the most wins in a single season at Duke ever. 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 I mean, that's really, you don't hear speeches like that all the time where you have such a wonderful economy with words. And, Coach K can really throw out those monosyllabic words with the best of them. He's a wonderful communicator in that regard. And actually, not many people know this, but in the 2001 Final Four, when Duke was down at halftime to Maryland, Coach K has gotten an enormous amount of credit for the halftime speech that he gave, keeping it short, to the point, and not cluttering up the minds of his players with too many things. And really the reason that he did that and what happened was he had given up profanity for Lent. So he came into the locker room and said to the guys, walked in red-faced and upset, and said, "What the? You guys are getting they're kicking your ass. You better. All right, let's go." And that was it. That was the magic.
All kidding aside, Coach K's biggest fan puts it best.
I think I know him pretty well, but I don't know. He's just one of those type of people, you know. He just this and that, you know. But he's one heck of a guy. He is.
He may not acknowledge eras, but the common thread in Duke's success is Krzyzewski. His history suggests that as long as he's at the helm, Duke should contend.
The most beautiful girl in the big dance is the devil with the blue dress on.
He recently caught up with some former Duke standouts, including ESPN regular Jay Bilas, and gathered a few other insights.
I remember kind of a different Mike Krzyzewski, one that wasn't quite as compassionate and caring, but he was a good motivator. I mean, Dick Vitale is right on that. He's a great motivator. And he used to motivate us by telling stories about his family and how tough his upbringing was in the suburbs of Chicago. And he would tell a story about how his mother, who was a great lady, but how his mother worked scrubbing floors in the Chicago Athletic Club. And the way he told it, his mother worked for free, basically, scrubbing floors for, I think it was 23 hours and 57 minutes a day, only having 3 minutes to herself. And he told us that she only had one dress, and that we didn't know what tough was, because he was tough, his upbringing was tough. And his mother had only one dress, and she was walking through the park one day and was mugged by, I guess it was a gang of 5, and tried to take her purse, and she wouldn't let go of the purse. And he said that, you know, she was tougher than we were. His mother, tougher, because she wouldn't let go of the purse. And of course, there was nothing in it. You know, but she was just tough enough to hang on to it, and we weren't tough enough to hang on to a rebound.
Kenny Dennard, a member of Coach K's first Duke team, remembers Coach K for his specific instructions.
You know, I told Coach K when I played for him, you know, he was 33 years old when he started at Duke. And I said, you know, Coach K, the only difference between me and Magic Johnson is playing time. I just need the ball.
And what was his response?
Pass to Gene. Pass it to Gene or sit out.
One time, an Alaska shootout, very compassionate. When he stormed over, took me out the game, sat me at the end of the bench, and said, "Yeah, cover boy," because I happened to be on the cover of a few magazines. This is my sophomore year, before I left for the draft. So why don't you go take a picture for ESPN right back there? And I didn't play another minute in the first half. So I think Coach was very compassionate, and he felt the pain and the things I was going through, being, you know, a top NBA prospect and a definitely top collegiate player at the time. So he's a very, very compassionate guy. He really understood.